Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what time it is. It is time to pick my November reads, and I am going to use my little ratchet jar. I really need to go get one because it's been like a month since I filmed my last one. We're going to use that for now, but I will change it next month. Last month was the first time that I used this TBR jar to pick out some prompts for my October reads, and I thought it was really fun. So this month I added some new prompts to the jar, and I am going to pick some books to read in November. So if you guys are interested, then please keep on watching. So for November, I'm feeling some cozy fantasy reads as well as a few romance books in there. So that's like my vibe for November, so that's what I'm aiming for. I have a stack of books that are like my top priorities that I would want to pick if the prompts fit these books, but I have a lot of books on my TBR, so I feel like this is a great way to get some books off of my TBR. This month I'm going to pick 8 prompts. Last month I did 10, but this month there are some new releases that I for sure will read. Let's just go ahead and pick the first prompt. This thing is kind of getting full, so I need to get a new one. So the first prompt is a red cover book. For sure I want to read Iron Flame for the month of November because it's going to release November 7th, and you guys already know I'm going to be on top of that. But let me see what that cover is because it's like orange. So Iron Flame is going to look like this. I feel like that might be kind of cheating, so let me just look for a red cover. I realized that I got this prompt last month. I couldn't find a book with that cover, so you know, I would say Iron Flame, but I feel like that's cheating, so I'm just going to pick a different prompt and not include that one. Okay, next prompt. A sword on the cover. This is actually perfect because I have a book from my top priority pile, and this is going to be The Hawthorne Legacy. It has a sword right there, and this is the second book in the Inheritance Games series, I guess you can say. And I just finished that book. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I didn't think about picking up the second book anytime soon, but I guess we are going to get into this book, and I'm very excited because I do want to know more about the story. At the top it just says mystery, riches, romance, betrayal. Next prompt, Asian representation. There's one book that I'm very excited to read with Asian representation, and it's going to be The Hurricane Wars by Thea G. I don't want to say her name wrong, but this is a new book that I just picked up, and I'm so excited because I'm going to be doing a video. I wanted to do this video in October, but I had other books that I wanted to read, so I am definitely going to read this soon because I love this book. I haven't even read it yet, but I just love the synopsis and just the story. It really intrigued me. This one is a romance fantasy with enemies to lovers. It sounds really cool. Also, I love this map on the front. This one is a debut novel, I think. I'm just going to put this down on my November TBR. So far so good. Let's pick out third prompt. Title starts with a U, and honestly I just put A to Z, so I don't even know what book I have that starts with a U, but we're just going to try to find that. I can't believe that there's actually a book that I own on my TBR that starts with U, and you know, I'm not really excited, but I need to get this book off of my TBR list. And it is a really popular book. So this one is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and honestly I haven't read a book by her in a while. I think her books are pretty emotional, so I think this one is going to be the same thing. And you know, a lot of people hyped this book up a while ago, and when I started getting into books, this was like one of the most hyped up books that I saw at the time. It is a pretty short read, so hopefully it's not too bad. This one says an unforgettable love story that breaks all the rules, and I already know I might cry reading this book, so I don't know if I want to do that to myself. We'll see. Next prompt is a red spine. What's with me getting all of these red spines and red kind of books? So I wanted to read Daisy Jones and the Six, and this spine, I don't know if you would consider this red because it looks kind of pink also, but it could be like a lighter red. Let me know what you guys think. But there are two other options that I wouldn't mind, you know, starting, and the first one is King of Wrath by Anna Hong. That would be the first book in the King of Sin series, and I really want to start her new series like this one. For some reason, I don't know if I'm ready to start this book yet, and it does have a red spine. I also have The Final Gambit. This has a red spine and I guess the red cover, but because earlier the red cover we didn't pick the second book, so now that I picked the second book, I think I'm going to add this one because then I can kind of like read all three, or like get all three done, and I'm gonna wait for the newest one to come out in paperback before I start that one. But then that means that we can like kind of finish a series somewhat. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Title starts with L. I think this one I might have some options. I actually have 4 books to share. The first one is Love on the Brain. I do want to read this one because I've read Love Hypothesis and Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, but I haven't read Love on the Brain, and I do want to read this one, but for some reason I just keep holding off and waiting till like Valentine's Day, so I might not get to that one, but I do want to read all of her books. And then I don't know if this counts, but it's The Long Game by Elena Armas. I put this one in October's TBR, but I didn't get to this book, so does it count? Because technically I would say The Long Game, like the doesn't count. And then I do have Legends and Lattes. I've been wanting to read this book, and I did want to save this for November, so I feel like this is a good book pick. But I also have Legendary by Stephanie Garber, and this is the second book in the Carval series, and I do want to finish this series just so that I can start the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I'm conflicted. I'm thinking between these two books. I think I'm going to pick this one just because it's a shorter book, and I did say that I want to read this one in November. It's giving me the cozy vibes. I am happy with that pick. 3 more prompts. This is a book talk book. I feel like this is easy because I have so many book talk books. I am conflicted because I also want to read The Long Game, and also I have Wildfire by Hannah Grace. But then I also want to read Caught Up by Liz Tomford, and I think I'm going to go with this one. I've been waiting for this book. This is the 3rd book in the Windy City series, and I loved Mile High and The Right Move. If you guys know on my channel, I rave about those books. I'm going to pick this one. 2 more books. Let's get a good one. This one is going to be easy, I feel like, because this is actually a fall book, so I feel like that would have been perfect for Legends and Lattes. I think I have some options, hopefully. Every time I think of a fall book, I think of a fantasy or like something cozy, and I don't have a specific book that takes place in the fall time. So I have Legendary because I feel like this is kind of giving me like fall mystery-ish. This one might be a contender. And then I also have Heart of the Raven Prince because this is a Cinderella retelling, and I have been wanting to read this one. Cinderella has the pumpkin and stuff like that. So I do have Wildfire. Oh, so this is a summer camp, so I don't think this counts. I also have on my Kindle Accidentally Amy, and this is a book by Lynn Painter. I think it's only fair that I pick Accidentally Amy, and this is going to be a Kindle book that I've been wanting to read because it has leaves on the front, and also the story starts with a PSL, so you know it can't get any more fall than that. And it's also a short read, so I'm not mad about it. I love Lynn Painter's writing, and I've read like most of her books. This one I heard was a pretty good book as well, so there you go. The last prompt, hopefully it's a good one. 4-word title. I feel like this one, there's room to pick. The books that I want to read, they don't have forewords, so I think I have to go and look for a book with forewords. I did have this book on my October TBR, and I didn't get to this one because it was giving me summer vibes, and this is Hookline and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I know I will really enjoy this book, and it is the second book following what it happened one summer. So this is an option. And then this one is Love on the Brain, so I also want to read this one, but I don't know, I'm not feeling these two books right now. And then I also have You with the View. I heard this one was a really good book. I also have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I think this is sad, so I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm going to pick this one because it's giving me that fall vibes. I don't know why, but I feel like these picks for November will make me emotional, and I'm not ready for that. But I will give you guys a recap on the 8 books that we selected. So the first book that I selected on my Kindle, this one is a fall book, and it is Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter, and I am pretty excited for that. Then we have a stack of other books here that I think they're pretty great options. So as you guys saw, forward title, this one is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and this one, I think it's like she meets this guy, but he lives 7 years in the past. I've seen some people cry reading this book, and I think Haley gave this a 5-star. So I'm a little, you know, nervous, but I do want to read this one. And then I have Caught Up, and this one is basically a book talk book. I really want to read this one. I think this will be one of the first ones that I pick up. It's a baseball sports romance, and it's going to be about Kai and Miller. Miller is she's like a chef, but she's going to be his nanny. He's a single dad, and there's an age gap romance, so I'm very excited for that, and I hope you guys pick this book up because I think it's going to be amazing. I have Legends and Lattes. This is for a title that starts with an L. I picked this book up recently, and I was like, you know, this is perfect for the fall time or like winter, and I think this is a cozy fantasy, so it's going to be perfect. And then I have the title that starts with a U, and that is going to be Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. And you know, it's a short book, so I just need to get this off of my TBR. Hopefully I enjoy this book. And then I have the second and third book in the Inheritance Games series, and this one is for a book with a sword on the cover, so I think that's perfect. And this one is a book with a red spine. You know, I'm pretty happy because I always need to finish some series, so this will definitely help. And then the last book that I have is Asian Representation, and this is an Asian author. This one is a fantasy, enemies to lovers, and I think I'm going to love that. So you know, I'm very excited for all of these options. I have mystery, romance, fantasy. I think that's pretty, you know, solid. So these were all of the books for the month of November. I'm very excited to share some of these reading vlogs with you guys, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I actually love making these videos now, and I just love watching people pick their TBRs, and this really helps me, you know, read some of the books that I don't want to read, but I feel like this month or this upcoming month is going to be amazing. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.